Now, this is the moment you've all been waiting for. It's time!
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Loose Nuts Tight Bolts podcast.
How are we, guys?
Yes, it is a brand new year, 2025. Sorry we're a little bit late, but we've been a bit chaotic with the big boss man away with a crook back. So I've had a step in with Andy.
Yes. Yeah, not the same quality, but, you know, it's a bum on a chair. So.
Yeah, that's it. It's a fucking head to talk out shit through the microphone.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so yeah, it's been a crazy start to the year. It feels like it's been 2 months and it hasn't even been one yet.
Yeah, it's 3 weeks has felt like 3 months, I reckon.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's always busy though this time of the year. Like it's, you know, people sort of still on holidays. You know, another week or two after, you know, your standard 1 to 2 weeks off.
Yeah.
People getting shit done. People going back to school. You know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. People's cars breaking over Christmas and then needing shit done.
Yeah, cars break in their last week of holidays or whatever, and they need to get it fixed before work starts.
Yeah. But I tell you, like, the amount of cars that I saw broken down. So I travelled to Queensland over Christmas for the break to see the in-laws.
Yeah.
The amount of cars that I saw broken down that were like less than, I would say 8 to 10 years old. Like that's all it was. The only
Fucking
cars
hell.
I saw at the side of the road with bonnets up would have been younger than 2015.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's crazy. You'd be
It's
filthy.
nuts. Yeah, you would be. You'd be absolutely livid. There was a couple of, you know, current model Hiluxes, which are the ones that I was really stood out to me. I was like, how is this broken down already? And it has to be user error. It has to be, you know, lack of maintenance, lack of attention to it.
100%. Tradies that get too busy to get their car into the service and then they go away for holidays and then it fucking breaks down. I mean, I've touched wood. I've only ever had to put the hazards on for a breakdown once, and that was because the coolant hose blew on me. The coolant feed hose in my turbo blew on my Colorado. But I was able to wrap some electrical tape around it and half turn the cap on it and then just sort of chuff it back to the workshop.
Yeah.
At Toyota and just leave it in the yard for the night and then deal with it in the morning. But other than that, I've never had anything majorly go wrong.
I've had Commodores, so I've broken down quite a bit. I've used that hazard. I used to envy people that used it for not breaking down. You know, like they're just on the phone or something. If I used it, it was for a reason.
Yeah. Oh, I tell a lie, actually. I have broken down, but my Corolla did a clutch coming home from work. So I just stayed there for days until I got a tow truck to pick it up. And then I was like, I'm just going to scrap it. It wasn't worth the money.
Yeah.
And I was so over it. It was an 89 model Corolla.
Yeah, right.
And it was like, I don't have love for this car. This is literally just a vessel to get to work and back. There's no love for this fucking old shitbox. It was a great car, but
it probably still goes too.
Oh, it probably would, you know. It probably actually got crushed into a cube, the poor little thing. But, you know,
and now it's an MG that's broken down.
Yeah, that's it. But fuck. Yeah, you probably couldn't kill it except for I didn't give a fuck. The clutch was slipping for like nearly half the time I owned it. I got it for free off a family friend.
Yeah.
Because my Pulsar and my Laser, the brakes fucking went on it. Oh, no, I just sold it because I was over the Laser because I was just sick of it. In hindsight, probably should have kept the Laser. The Laser was probably in better condition than the Corolla, but...
Yeah, hindsight's a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
New cars are funny like that, like new to you cars.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you can be so invested in something that's heaps shitter than what you've got because it's new. Because
100%.
It changes gears different or it does something different.
Definitely.
Yeah.
You know, that fucking Laser was mad, actually. It wasn't a bad car until I fucking thought I could Ken block up an embankment in some country. I was out delivering pizzas on a rainy night. Thought I was Ken block, ripped the handbrake up, and I wasn't Ken block, and ended up on some dude's embankment, but I chucked in reverse and got out of there.
Yeah.
And ripped the stone guard off of the front of it, so I was missing half of the front end on it. It looked fucking awful by the end I was finished with it.
Yeah.
But I put it up on the side of the road for $500. Some dude's car broke down on the way to work and he goes, fuck, I'll just buy anything to get me there. But will get me there? I'm like, well, fuck, should. Brakes didn't work too well.
Yeah, no promises, but it runs.
Yeah, it runs. Fucking bit. Yeah, and then got the Corolla for 6 months, and then that fucking shut the bed. Oh, it was probably half a year I had the Corolla.
Yeah.
Used to blow heaps of smoke.
Yeah.
It was based by the end of its life, it was running on stop smoke,
Fuck yeah.
basically. And then the clutch blew. And then I got my Pulsar, which was one of the best cars I've ever owned.
I had an N13 Pulsar. It was probably in the top 3 best cars I've ever owned. This odometer had 300 and something thousand on it, and it had stopped before I bought it.
Yeah, nice.
I bought it off a friend of mine, and then I drove it from the Central Coast to Sydney for 4 years.
Yeah.
And used to deliver pizzas.
Yeah,
in it after work. So I don't know how many kilometres it had on it by the time I was done with it. I did a head on it in my driveway, blind drunk. I used a barbecue stain and a head, and reused the old timing belt, like just full on second year apprentice life.
Yeah.
I sold it to my mate's dad, and he was a security guard at Hornsby. He drove it for another 4 or 5 years to Hornsby from the Central Coast every day. I don't know what happened to it after that, but you couldn't. Everything you gave it, it was like, is that all you got?
Oh, yeah.
I'll have some more. Thank you,
that
sir.
was
like,
that was the serious like pinnacle of like Nissan engineering was like those 90s model car, like heaps of overkill shit. Like the 80s and 90s was like the pinnacle of like really high quality stuff coming out of them before Renault got involved.
Yeah, that ruined it.
Yeah, but yeah, I had an N15 Triple S, so I had.
I've always, even now, I would buy one of them in a heartbeat. But it's hard to. They're like an R33 Skyline, because you can't. You couldn't buy an N15 that's been owned by 4 or 5 people that have just access to YouTube and have modified it.
Yeah.
You have to have like granddad's one that he loved, or you know, just one that was used as a car. Then they'd be brilliant. But the problem is you'd be dealing with everyone else's shit. That
I didn't even know what it was. I went to a car yard looking at a car and then saw this thing, and I was like looking at it, I'm like, because I had a mate who had an S13, like a non-turbo S13. Yeah. So I was like, so I know what SR20s look like, and I'm looking at this thing going,
looks like that.
I'm like, what's a fucking SR20 in that fucking Pulsar?
I
went and looked at it and drove it, and fuck, this thing rips.
Yeah.
Like that, honestly, like back then, the best bang for your buck car as a P plater, that SR, like that front wheel drive Pulsar, like.
And they revved to like $8,500 or something.
Yeah, you couldn't get any better. Like it was one of the fucking best cars.
And all they need, going back to the thing, all they need is maintenance. Like you can drive them like an arsehole.
Oh yeah.
And all you need to do is make sure it's got some oil in it.
Yeah.
Make sure it's got some coolant in it. And it'll just keep working.
Don't go stupid and fucking modify the fuck out, and that's when you have issues.
No.
The only thing I wish I had a hydraulic clutch.
Yeah.
Cable clutch. Dumb as fuck.
Yeah.
Don't know why. Like I'm like, N14, I sort of understand it's sort of the right age for a cable clutch on a front wheel drive, but I'm like, this motor has hydraulic clutches its whole life everywhere else. I'm like, why put a cable cluch?
That was actually the only issue I ever had with my N13 was I welded the firewall 3 times. Because it used to pull the cable out of the studs in the firewall.
No, that was my only issue I've ever had with it. Was the clutch cable, and I could never get it right after that. I don't know what I did wrong as an apprentice, but something wasn't working right. I'm like, fuck. I wish I got a. If I still kept it, I would have. It would have been a fucking. I wouldn't have sold it. I don't think. I would have just. Once it was paid off, I would have just got a loan to get something else and just keep that thing as a sort of a truck car, fast car, and we just modified the fuck out of it.
Because there's so much support for them, and there's and they're a fun. Like we were talking the other day about like MX-5s, it's a similar sort of thing. To me, like 600 horsepower is fun, but 200 horsepower is just as fun because you can drive it on its
hard
limits.
Yeah.
Your red line every gear. How late can I brake before I make this turn and stuff like that? Like
that's where I actually think on the limit. Low horsepower is actually more fun.
It is because
you can actually push it right to the edge of everything, and you just know. I remember driving up Mount Sugarloaf. I don't know if you've ever been up there before.
Yeah.
So before it was blocked, before it used to get blocked off at night, it used to be like night runs up there, like up to the top. Where I raced. I wasn't a race. I had 3 people in my car. He had a S13 and he knew everywhere. I didn't know anything. The road. I just turned up there. They're like, oh, just race Odin up here, and he's fucking. You got a fucking NA fucking SR20. He's got an NA SR20. I'm like, yeah, right. I was a fucking cat. I think I topped out at 100.
Yeah.
Along there, he would have been doing fucking 150, 180 up. I'm like, fuck that.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize at the very end it's a double apex left-hander, so it sort of turns and then it turns again.
Yeah.
I fucking nearly didn't make it around the corner. And I was like, fuck, that'd be awkward. Kill myself and fucking bunch of mates.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably one of the dumbest things I've done in it, except for racing one of the boys home from Holden once when I did my apprenticeship.
Yeah.
Got snap oversteer about 120.
Yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't fun.
Yeah, front wheel drive oversteer is a real fucking.
Oh,
it's a real art to learn.
That'll make you fucking sphincter small.
Yeah, lift off oversteer. That's a fucking.
Oh, that's
a
crazy.
thing.
Yeah.
Once you get it, but like once you know your car and you know it'll do it, whatever. Yeah, it's not as terrifying.
No,
but it's
there's
still
multiple-
it's so unpredictable. It's more unpredictable than a single spin of fucking Commodore diff.
There's multiple roundabouts on the coast here. I used to be able to get it out sideways at the right speed.
Yeah.
Yeah, just fuck yeah.
And
And it was
fuck,
just
you're putting a lot of like when you think about it. See, that's the thing that I like.
I was
about-
only ever late at night, guys. I was
Yeah.
only ever late at night.
Yeah, no, a controlled environment, closed road.
Yeah, closed road.
That's the thing that I still like about cars is that, like, the way that you get to know the individual car
Oh, yeah.
and its limits in doing certain things, but then putting faith in, like, every time you did that, you put so much faith in the front end of that car. And let's be honest, you can take it apart with hand tools.
And I put it back together as a fucking second-year apprentice on the floor in my mum's garage. So I shouldn't have put much fucking faith in it.
No, but you did.
I did.
And it worked.
You know, that was the first clutch I ever did, was on that car.
Mm.
First cable clutch I ever replaced. Actually, the only cable clutch I've ever dealt with.
It's not a very common thing anymore.
No, it was a pretty...
It used to be.
Yeah, it was did a lot of firsts in that car. It was pretty good. First stereo install.
That's where I think a lot of that now, well, I sound old every time I say it, but that newer school train of thought, like apprentices rolling through now that will, go and get a loan for,
fucking 80 grand on
30, 40 grand, on their first car.
Ooh.
And they're not wiring their own stereo up,
No.
They're going and buying, 2 or 3 harnesses that just go click, click, click in, and they've bolted it up and gone, that's a stereo install. It's not.
No.
You haven't had to find power. You haven't had to find fucking stereo, like what speakers where, and
that's it.
blow fuses. And
It's the best thing about that little battery.
Yeah.
Little battery to find the stereos, and they sort of boop, boop, boop,
Yeah.
boop, boop.
Yeah.
Best fucking YouTube, man. I was so
9-volt
glad.
battery.
Yeah, I was so glad YouTube was around when I was just doing that hack shit.
See, it wasn't.
No, that would've been
was,
awful.
No, it wasn't a thing like, and it was. You sort of had to. You almost had to trace wires back to where if you didn't have a wiring diagram, and you were doing it at home. Like, I didn't buy wire strippers till I was 35.
Yeah, right.
Because I was a smoker. I just used to use my cigarette lighter.
Yeah.
I'd just light the end of the insulation and rip it off with my fingers. So that was how. So you'd just do that. You'd twist and tape, and that was. But that was your youth.
Yeah, that was what you're used to. That's what you basically were taught. Basically,
Yeah, it was how can I make this work? But making it work will get you out of trouble
100%.
in our line of work a lot. If you can look at something and go, oh, yeah, I can make that.
Yeah.
It's. I think it's one of those things that's going to be a snowball effect.
Yeah,
right? Nowadays in this just buy everything society, you're not allowing your brain to do that. You to problem solve and adapt and whatever.
Well, that might have been the second last stereo I ever soldered in.
Yeah.
Because I was like, this is fucking stupid.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's one issue is you sort of wrecking yourself because if you ever go back to if it's a better car, like if it's a newer car, you want to go back to a standard head unit when you sell it or whatever, if you can change it out. A lot of days you just buy the whole fascia and everything and you can't reuse them. But if you were going to like a double DIN unit, like what's in my Colorado, that's been double patch harnessed in.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, well, if I ever take it out or whatever, I can just put the factory one back in it.
100%.
If you still have it, which I don't think I have.
And nowadays too, because they are so affordable too.
Oh, the price has dropped like $50 nearly.
Yeah, it ends up this. You know, you go and put a stereo in your car. There's a half an hour job, whereas it was a half a day job.
Oh, it was half a day job and half a carton and lots of tears when you didn't get it right.
Yeah.
I think that stereo, I was up till 12:30, 1 o'clock trying to install it, and I still didn't get it right. And one of the boys, I was actually going to work on that Saturday, so what did I do? I drove Mum's car because I was servicing it. I think I drove Mum's car up there. I was servicing it, and he actually, thank God, he actually drove back down. He lived in Newcastle. He drove down and helped me out.
Yeah.
Because I went up there and helped him out on the Saturdays. Because it was only where I worked, where I did my apprenticeship, only one guy worked this Saturday. It was every 2 weeks. But when there was more work, one of the apprentices would come on. Like, we got paid for it, but you were just like helping him out. So he was like, oh, because you did that, I'll come down. And, well, not because you did that, but he's like, I'll come down and help you out because you're actually a fucking good kid and you listen and you don't just fucking give me shit.
Yeah.
So that's good, yeah. That's the one thing I say to apprentices. Be respectful to the tradesmen.
Yeah.
When you first start out. Give it a year and a half before you start mouthing off.
Yeah.
And then they're going to actually go, all right, you've earned that.
Read the room too.
Oh,
like read when it's appropriate. Like if someone's having a fucking bad day, don't go up and G them up. Like,
no.
Wait till you know them. You know.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Don't day one. Don't start peacocking.
No.
Just shut the fuck up. Head down. Fucking pick up that broom. Sweep the floor.
Yeah. Head down, bum up.
And the fucking never look unbusy.
Nah.
And it's one of the craziest things. Like we've only ever had one good work experience kid here.
Oh, 100%.
And even then, he wasn't perfect, but he was a fucking heaps load better.
It reinstilled my faith a little bit because for a long time it was like, fuck this. Like, and you sort of like, well, who do I pick out of all these fucking idiots?
Yeah.
Like,
well, he was one of you actually go, all right, I'll come over here and learn something, young fella.
yeah.
I'll teach you something.
He could be molded. Because, and I think he could take too if he got a bit mouthy, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, 100%.
Right. We're doing
100%.
this now.
It was just start. He was probably it was getting a bit comfortable towards the end.
Friday Arvo, it was getting a bit comfy.
Yeah, I'm like, fuck, if you were here all day, you'd learn real quick.
Yeah, shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard though. Work experience kids, you can't have a go at him. If he's an apprentice, you can. I mean, even then, you can't have a go at him anymore.
No, they got rights now.
Fucking bullshit. They don't have rights. They're a fucking.
Yeah.
You're junior, the junior. Shut the fuck up.
It's very hard for me to have sympathy. Like, look,
you can't. You
no,
got paid
I got ribbed. Like,
oh yeah, well,
mine was a definite learning experience, but I don't agree for a second that should be how all apprentices are treated. But
No.
I, at the same token, I don't think they get a golden ticket to just sit down and do fuck all either.
Oh,
like,
they can't sit down and do fuck all.
and I think the biggest thing that young kids need to learn is that, let's just round numbers, right? Let's just say, as a tradesman, you might be getting $35 an hour, right? Well, you're making the company money. Wherever you work, you're making the money. The apprentice that's getting paid, I don't know how much they get paid now, but when I was an apprentice, it was $6 an hour.
No,
as a
it was a
first year
fuckload
apprentice,
more than that.
right?
Yeah.
So it was $6 an hour. $5.96. It wasn't even $6. Anyway, and I'm not making the company any money. I wasn't doing fucking work.
No.
So that's
hindering the company.
But that's what they need to understand. You're getting paid to not contribute to the company.
Yeah, you're actually getting paid to learn.
Yeah. So the least you can fucking do is earn your keep by tidying things up, by going and grabbing parts for people, by going, can you move this to get that out to do whatever, just to make the everyday running and efficiency of the workshop work a bit better.
But you learn so much shit by that as well, because you learn that fucking Z9 goes on these Falcons. Yeah. You just learn like parts and
I'm always getting 9.8 litres of fucking oil for a fucking 3.2 Ranger, so that's what they must take.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
those little things that you think don't matter, they do.
Oh yeah,
because your brain somehow has a way of retaining that. My brain's full.
Oh yeah.
Right. So, but my brain's full of shit that doesn't help in everyday life. Yeah. And what happens when I learn something new here, I have to erase something to make it work. It's like a memory card.
Yeah.
So I might lose the ability to tie my shoelaces, but I remember how now
Yeah.
I know how to get an oil pressure switch out of a fucking E90 fucking 2 fucking BMW.
Don't break it when you put
Yeah,
the
fuck that off. What a fucking cut of a job that was. Anyway,
that's a story for a fucking little bit later.
yeah. But no, look, you can't,
It's crazy how much shit you learn. Like this little shit you think is so dumb. Like following a procedure for your beginning of the day each day.
Yeah.
So you come in, take the cars out, empty the rubbish bins, make sure the oil boys are empty. But it depends where you work, because some places where my last dealership I worked at, you had driveway service.
Yeah.
So you weren't in the workshop till 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
So it's pretty, like, you had to drive the cars out and then you're out in the driveway, which is a bit shit, really. Like if you're in the work, that never happened where I did my apprenticeship. Like you were in the workshop, or you're either doing courtesy bus or you're in the workshop
I
cleaning
love the
stuff up.
courtesy bus, by the way.
Oh, it was
I fucking love it. Well, the other apprentice I used to work with used to cringe at it. I was like, it's fucking day off.
Yeah, I mean, it was good until you had to be in the workshop working and then pick people up,
Yeah.
because then people had to finish your jobs off,
Yeah.
which got annoying
Yeah.
for everyone involved,
Yeah.
like the tradesman and yourself, because that was the annoying part. The pickups, the drop-offs in the morning were fine because you weren't doing anything
Yeah.
until you started actually working, and then it got really annoying. I used to find it annoying as like a third year or a fourth year having to do it, because I'm like, fuck, I could actually be used in a better way at this company, not just
Yeah.
picking people up. You gotta bring that microphone closer to you, brother.
Yeah.
You can lay down and just fucking drag it to you.
Yeah,
There we
no,
go.
where I worked was a different sort of, the courtesy bus was if you were on the Curto bus, you
Yeah,
were on the
that-
Curto bus.
yeah,
There
yeah.
was no, you were, so
That's a heaps better way of doing it, by the
well,
way.
our courtesy bus driver's name was Jumpin' Jeff.
Yeah.
And he had he had 2 weeks off in the middle of the year and 2
Yeah.
weeks off for Christmas. So, or, a random sick day if he was dead.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so if you were on the Curto bus, you were on the Curto bus. So that was it. Driveway service thing, I think, sucks, for apprentices,
Oh, it's
because
fucking
you've
awful.
got, and that didn't come in where I was an apprentice, and I'd finished my trade, and
Yeah.
I went to another dealership, and then they started it. Ours was we used to start at about half an hour before we opened,
Yeah.
but half an hour before the tradesman got there,
Yeah.
get all the cars out of the workshop.
Yeah.
Then for the probably hour and a half, it was all the logbook services that were in, it was a dealer, or everything was
Yeah,
logbook
yeah,
service. You had to book the cars into stock. So that was seat cover, floor mats, logbook.
Stamped
So you had to go out, you'd be given a certain amount of job cards, and you'd go, ROs, you'd go out and fucking...
That's a repair order as well. People don't understand.
Seat
Yeah.
cover, for people playing at home.
Yeah. If
Seat
you're not a
cover,
dealer,
floor
yeah.
mats, stamp the book, write the K's in, get
Yeah.
all those details, and fucking that was it then. So the guys didn't have to do that. They didn't have to rummage around anything.
Yeah.
And that was on them. And then, you'd be on the tools till probably 3:30, 4 o'clock.
Empty oil boys.
Yeah,
fucking
empty oil boys.
empty rubbish bins.
Yeah. Sorry, missed a step. Have to go and get the lunches.
Yeah.
So, about 12 o'clock, if you go and get the lunch orders, go and put the lunch order in, then fucking wait 20 minutes, go to the takeaway, get the lunch order, bring it back. Someone would suck you because they didn't have enough chicken salt, so that was your problem. It was,
That was
And then-
one. I never had to deal with that really.
Oh, lunch orders was
I never really had to. The only times was like occasionally go pick up pizzas, but
okay.
but that was it. There was no there was really no local takeaway shop for lunch orders for Smoko and stuff. But when I left there and went to Toyota,
Yeah.
the apprentices used to get Smoko on lunch. Like there used to be Smoko orders and lunch orders. No, they used to get Smoko. Lunch was you had to fend for yourself.
Yeah, okay.
You want to get takeaway, but Smoko was got for the whole. They used to get the whole dealership.
Yeah, okay.
Fucking sales, service, advisors, and mechanics.
Fuck,
it's
that's
a
a
fucking-
fucking order, isn't it?
Oh, it's a big deal. But they used to just call up and order it, and then they'd just go pick it up. But the amount of fucking cards I used to go through.
Right.
But yeah, they fuck up sometimes. People blow up. So I'm like, what do you? There's like fucking 20. There's like 30 orders there.
Yeah, of course there's going to be a fucking
Yeah,
mix
like-
up every now and then.
Where? Get over it.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't. Carry on sometimes. But yeah, it got to the point where I think they canned it now. I think it's
Oh,
canned.
they probably would have.
Because a fucking massive. It's fucking crazy. But once again, that's also a good learning for the kids.
Yeah, it is. I think people think that if you're learning, like if you're a builder and you're not on site learning about fucking building or whatever, then you're not learning. Well, that's not necessarily true.
That's the only place I actually did have to do lunch orders when I was at work, when I was doing sort of trades assistant for a builder, which I did work experience for, but he had a couple of days where he was flat out, so he'd call me up when I was still at school and be like, oh, you want to come work for me for fucking $150?
Yeah.
At 6 o'clock in the morning, go ask mum. I was like, yeah, go.
Yeah.
So I just fucking basically wag school and go work with him for some fucking cash.
Yeah.
That was the only other place I've ever had to do orders was when we worked near a takeaway shop. You just have to go down there and get the takeaways for them.
Yeah.
But that was it.
Yeah, like I've worked in construction before, getting out of this trade for a bit and whatever. And yeah, you always, whenever you get a job somewhere else, you generally start at the bottom of the, especially if you're, your trade doesn't apply the industry that you're going at. You start at the, you're a labourer, you start at the fucking bottom of the
fucking nothing,
Exactly. But it doesn't worry me.
No, who cares?
I
suppose it's a bit different. Like, if you're good at it and you can actually do what you're doing, you're going to get less shit. But if you're a fucking no-hoper
and
I
think
not pulling
that's
your weight, that's when you get the shit put on you.
That's where, again, where it comes, people think, oh, I'm not doing anything or whatever. If you can do simple tasks and complete them and problem solve, because you handing out 30 lunch orders is problem solving. Who got this and who got this and fucking rah, rah, rah. That's problem solving. And it's going to build up, he can't even fucking get the lunches. I'm not going to teach him how to fucking do a clutch.
Yeah, definitely.
There's, just because it doesn't apply to right now, in this moment, in this second, doesn't mean it's not going to affect your life affect, I mean, if I didn't apply myself to jobs when I was an apprentice, I might not have been taught the things that I was taught, and it might not, and it snowballs on and on and on and on and on, and you go, well, would I have ended up in the same place? Maybe not.
Yeah.
Maybe, but it comes down to just have a bit of pride in what you do.
Oh, absolutely.
If someone's asking you to do something, just do it to the best of your ability.
Yeah.
You don't want to be known as that cunt that can't even get the fucking, egg and lettuce sandwich fucking right.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's,
Yeah, that's not that hard.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not. And because everyone is going to judge you off their individual thing they've asked you.
Yeah.
They're not going to sit back and go, oh, well, fuck, he had, 35 orders he had to get done. They're going to go, well, fuck, he couldn't get a sausage roll with sauce right.
Yeah.
So
that's it. And if you do fuck it up,
own it.
And the next day say,
own it.
Fuck. But also just fucking just say sorry and move on.
Yeah.
Just go, fuck, I'll get you back tomorrow. I'm fucking sorry, mate.
Yeah. If
and make sure you fucking do it right the next day. Double fucking triple check it.
And do you know what? If they're fucking proper salty about it, fuck them. Like, I mean, if that's the catalyst for them helping you for the rest of your days, they weren't going to help you anyway.
No, they weren't. You're going to do something wrong.
Yeah. You can only apologise so many times for something, especially if it's out of your control.
100%. If you bring up an order takeaway and they fuck it up, it's like, well, I did the fucking best I can. I said what you told me.
Yeah.
I fucking asked them. They said it was sweet. I'm fucking sorry. Or some other cunt fucking takes your order.
Yeah.
They used to fucking piss me off as well.
Yeah.
They'd get something else and they'd fucking take it and you sit there and go, is that fucking that? Like, yeah, and they're half eating it. Oh, I'm like, oh, fuck, I don't want that now.
Yeah.
It wasn't right. Don't fucking eat it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it was always the cunt who used to get something fucking shit house.
Something obscure.
Yeah, or just something like, let's put it this way. So we get takeaway sometimes from here, and I get a schnitzel and gravy roll. Pretty basic, but I like it.
Yep.
Right, you guys get a Works burger normally.
Yep.
Imagine if I ate your Works burger and you had my schnitzel gravy roll. You'd be like, "What the fuck do you mean?"
I'd be mailing bits of you to Emily. On the daily.
Yeah.
Until you got home in one
piece.
piece.
Just that's what sometimes I mean, there's not much of a price difference. Well,
no.
Potentially, but it's like that wasn't remotely near your order.
No, so why are you eating it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like, okay, maybe you fucking, maybe you fucking just rip, but you know the thickness of it. You go, fuck, that's way thicker than normal. As soon as you pick the cunt up. But
yeah, exactly.
Sometimes you just have them like, oh, good bacon egg roll, but some cunt fucking haven't just got scalps or whatever, just starts towing into your bacon egg roll. You're like, what do you fucking mean?
I could murder a bacon and egg roll now.
Oh, fuck, they're so
You
good.
fucking done me.
Oh, fuck. They used to be the best some days. You'd be
yeah.
like, fuck yeah, just get me a bacon egg roll.
Yeah. No, like a proper, like, double bacon.
Yeah.
Something you got to dislocate your jaw to get around. I'm on board with that.
Lunchbox and Wyong used to do a fucking mad bacon egg
Did
roll.
they?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we used to go there quite a bit. JC's, fuck, people used, those Works burgers, people used to smash them at Smoko.
How? Like, that's,
I don't know how they
me.
fucking lived. Like multiple times a week, they would smash those.
My missus will ring me and go, what are we doing for dinner? And if I've had a Works burger by 3 o'clock, I'm like, go fuck yourself. I'm not having anything for dinner. I'm
You
done.
can find yourself, fix yourself up.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
fucking done.
Yeah.
Well, you have Smoko as well. You have
No,
your-
that's my breakfast.
Your
So I
breakfast,
don't, and it varies. I try and, depending on how the quantity and the quality
Yeah.
of what I've got, I try and drag it out so by lunchtime I'm not fucking starving.
yeah.
But yeah, I'm 38 years old and I'm still working on it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's-
Well, I don't. I tend not to have breakfast or Smoko usually. It's like that modern intermittent fasting. Usually, I try and do that.
Oh, see, if I'm hungry, I'm fucking angry. Yeah, I need to.
Yeah, you're like Emily. She gets hangry,
Yeah,
and I'm just
I
like,
fucking-
fucking go eat a fucking cheeseburger and shut the fuck up. Lucky she doesn't listen to this. I love you, darling. If you do listen to this. But yeah, some days fucking hangriness gets. It is real, people.
It is very fucking real. And it's a real thing for tradesmen to apprentices. So it's touching on apprentices again. If it's around meal time, just fucking leave them alone.
Yeah. Yeah, and fucking dumb questions some
Yeah,
days. You just,
yeah.
oh, fuck. Some of the
Read the room. If there's one-worded answers coming back to your questions, and then you fucking
And
start poking the bear, you're like,
You're
you
going to
can't be
cry.
helped. Yeah, you can't be helped.
You're going to cry.
Yeah.
Like,
and
'cause
you're gonna be
they're
like, what did I do wrong?
You're going to get eviscerated because some days you just I used to get them quite a bit
Yeah.
working me because I was doing bigger jobs. So a bit of help
Yeah.
with the fucking 40k service and Land Cruiser. So all the diff oils, all the wheel bearings and stuff. But some of the apprentices we used to get, I was like, nah, I'm all right. Don't
Yeah.
send him over here. Like, I'm good. They can go fucking do something else. Don't send him.
I used to, like,
I was like, I'll take him. I'll take him as to help me out, but don't send fucking old mate.
I've mellowed a lot. I used to be a proper cranky cunt, right? And to the point where I would just flat out say to their face, while they were listening, be like, don't fucking send him over here. You might as well shake your hands and clap. That's the result.
Oh,
you're gonna get,
yeah. Fuck some of them.
and the look on their face, you're like, well, prove it. Prove me wrong.
Yeah.
You come and help me and fucking show me you can better my life. Because really, right now, that's all I'm interested in.
Yeah. I mean, I was pretty cool because I was like, if I got one of those jobs, I was pulling the parachute down. And I'm like, you're going to give me this job at fucking 8 o'clock in the morning? Fuck. On a Tuesday? That's
slow
it.
it on fucking down.
No, I'm just going to fucking do. The worst one was 40K, and then you had to do the exhaust recall and brakes or fucking. That was, no, probably more 80K. That was the worst one. Because it'd be probably coming up close to brakes on one of those on the front. And fucking the nightmare. I used to hate. He's actually become one of my mates now, so I won't rip him too bad. But yeah, when he first came to where we worked, he came from another part of the dealer network we worked for.
Yeah.
And I used to call him the floater. And his first week there, he had a 150 series Prado he worked on.
Yeah.
And then he was doing something. It was a second year, third year maybe.
Yep.
And something fucking went wrong with the handbrake or something. He didn't see it on the job card. It just handbrake. It must have just been a used car service or something. He didn't see it on the job card. And then comes to fucking 4:15. The guy came to pick up his car, handbrake to the fucking moon. I'm like, handbrake's fucked. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Fuck. Yeah, because I was always the fucking one who had to go do this shit. It was just, it was on for young and old. I was just tearing shreds off him. You're a fucking floater. You don't even know when a fucking handbrake's fucked. What are you fucking doing? Just fucking ripping shreds into him. And he was off me for a while because I fucking went to town. It was a Friday arvo as well, I think.
Yeah.
It was
You
a
just
Friday or
fucking- you
Thursday. I
just taught him a
wasn't
new one.
fucking in the mood. But probably been given shit jobs all day.
Yeah.
Because I went from being straight out of my time to being a fucking senior mechanic in that place really quick.
Yeah.
Because they lost a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like lost a lot of, like a lot of like probably senior mechanics quite quickly.
Yeah.
The turnover of staff happened really quick.
Yeah.
And then it was just like I became like a fucking leader in the workshop really quick. I'm like, what the fuck do you mean? I'm like a year out of my time.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was probably the best thing that ever happened to me, leaving where I did my apprenticeship and going somewhere else.
Yeah. I
The learning you learnt was insane.
I did 4 years at Toyota.
Yeah.
Left there. Didn't know much about anything.
Yeah.
Knew
The bad place to do an apprenticeship.
yeah, because not a lot goes wrong. Realistically, like compared to a lot of other manufacturers.
Yeah, I went from
not
Holden to Toyota, so I was like,
yeah,
what do you mean you don't do water pumps every day?
yeah. And I went the opposite. So I went with polar opposite to you. I went Toyota to Holden.
You're like, fuck me, I'm doing a lot of water pumps.
Yeah, I was like, fucking. And,
What do you
and
mean?
mine was water pumps, yeah, but mine was oil leaks.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, you went in the Holden for his days.
No, mine was like VT Commodore still had warranty.
Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah, fucking, yeah.
yeah, it
Valley
was-
gaskets and stuff like we were
it-
talking
like,
about earlier today.
Sumps and valleys and doing diffs and, engines on LS1s and, like early LS1s that had fucking piston slap and
Yeah.
shit like that. And it was but same thing. I worked at Holden for 3 years and 18 months in, I was workshop controller
Yeah.
because same deal. They had a mass exodus and I was the most senior person there and they offered
Which is
me the job.
insane. Yeah, you take it.
And I took the job. I was like,
Fucking
we've got progression. I'll fucking take the job. Fucking hated it.
yeah.
But it's definitely served me well
Oh, yeah, 100%.
moving on in years and whatever, like, delegating work and knowing, learning people's strengths and weaknesses.
What a
to
job
give
to
them
have in a
jobs
dealership, by
and-
the way,
oh,
as well.
yeah,
Workshop controller.
Yeah.
Fuck, what a job.
Yeah.
You just palm it off, and if they don't fucking do it quick enough, you have a go at
Yeah,
them.
you could just hurl abuse.
Yeah, you
and
just-
and I was,
There's no responsibility. It's just fucking...
that era was still, smoking was banned in a lot of places, but workshops were still a fair fucking whatever.
Yeah.
I Ashtray in me fucking little cube, and I was like I used to smoke a pack of 30s at work.
Oh,
like
yeah.
I'd
Punch
put one
them.
out, I'd fucking light another
Fucking
one,
hell. In the
and
office as well.
and I'd be fucking 2 fingers and me ciggy in my hand, pointing fucking fingers at you, like hurry the fuck up, like what the fuck's going on? No,
Yeah.
I was just cranky all the fucking time.
I would have been terrified.
I used to fucking yell and carry on and fucking throw clipboards
No.
it was, but they liked it. Sorry, the people on the floor didn't like it. The fucking bosses
they
liked
would loved
it
it.
because you were
Shit
getting
got
shit
done,
done.
yeah.
Yeah, it was. I'm going home. Like, fuck you going home. That car you fucking service today is broken. You can fucking stay back and fix it.
Yeah.
And it was that, like, you get results out of the boys because I yell at them.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
I mean, it's changed so much now because they just fucking sook and win.
Oh, yeah, just
especially
fucking-
the dealerships, HR gets involved.
He spoke to me like this and fuck off.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's some points where you can't go ballistic at people. Like the dealership principal, my last dealership service manager used to go ballistic at a drop of a hat. Like anything went wrong,
Yeah.
it was just level 1,000.
Yeah.
Red face, jumping up and down, screaming at people. You can't do that every day
No.
because
No,
it
you
becomes
can't.
comical, and then people
but
just
at the
laugh
end of
at
the day
it.
too, it's no good for the person doing it either.
No.
Like you
have a heart attack
Yeah,
that quick.
you're like, why do you want to be like that every day?
No. Every day it used to happen. Every day I'm like, you hide the fucking person.
Yeah, exactly.
Get rid of the
and,
fucking person. It's
We
no
used to
good.
go like I remember we'd go for like nights out at the pub or whatever, and I used to get people come to me and they go like, "Oh, you're not a cranky cunt." And no, it's just because you annoy me at work.
Yeah.
Like because I know how long that job takes, and you're not fucking doing it in that
Yeah.
time, so I'm going to fucking yell at you.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, and I'm not the quickest at it, so if I can do it in that time, you can fucking certainly do it in that time. Like,
yeah.
it's hard when you don't have faith in the people that you're working with, and I think a lot of the times dealers, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Like these people have sort of floated through and got to a point where they're, and especially too when you say you have a mass exit, there's if the workshop wanted to cull 5 people, but they were the ones that stayed, well, they're not going to cull them.
No.
They're going to keep them.
Yeah, 100%.
And you end up with a bunch of plebs.
Yeah,
And you're like, oh
100%,
fuck, what do I do with these guys?
Yeah, the issue is people get paid like shit, so the good people leave, and the fucking bad people who are fucking just barely hanging on stay there. If you're going to be a slow cunt, be fucking good.
So
if you're going to be a fast cunt, just be okay. But if you're going to be slow, you better be fucking tip top, and you better be willing to do some shit jobs because you'll get them.
So one of my oldest mates worked at the dealership or the French or the what do you call it, the Empire.
Yeah.
That your last employer before your last employer would work, and he worked at the opposite site to you guys.
Yeah. The big mothership.
Was there for years.
Yeah.
Years and years and years and years. Toyota Master Tech.
Yeah.
Years and years and years worked there, loyal as fucking, as much overtime as they wanted to give him, he'd fucking do.
Yeah,
Lived and breathed the company. He works now 3 nights a week as a cab driver and gets paid $150 a week more.
Yeah. Oh. The company has no respect for you.
Why would you? Why would you fucking ruin your life? 6 days a week this bloke used to work.
Yeah.
Loved it. Lived and breathed it.
Yeah, it's
and if a 3 nights a week driving a cab, he gets paid more money. Well, why fucking would ya?
Yeah, but he probably had a fucking mad relationship with the boys he worked with.
Yeah,
that was the one thing. When I first started there, where I worked, everyone fucking loved it. Like everyone just got on like a house on fire. It was one of the first times I ever worked in, and it was such a positive environment. Everyone just fucking loved it. It was a good amount of ribbing, but everyone just got along so well, and they made shit work.
The most
people started leaving.
The most miserable place I've ever worked? Holden. Was honestly a bunch of fucking sour cunts. Everyone hated their life.
Where I did my apprenticeship at Holden in Newcastle, everyone got along really good, but it was a lot more toxic undertones. I suppose I put it. Like some things were said, but they had a bit more venom involved. Where at Toyota it was definitely just gentle ribbing. You could the difference in it.
Yeah, Toyota was
But I suppose,
where I worked at Toyota, there was one standout guy.
Yeah.
And then he moved on to bigger and better things, and obviously a place that pay him what he was worth.
Yeah.
There was a couple of quite good guys, and then probably the other 20 staff were fucking useless.
Yeah, right.
Where I worked at Holden, there was probably 15 guys, and it was probably half. Half were good, half were shit.
Yeah.
The shit guys were mostly older guys.
Yeah.
That had just given up, didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
They stayed when everyone else sort of left, and they would, as a workshop controller. I remember this one bloke, Frank. I'd be like, oh, "Mate, is this job? Is your next job?" And he'd look at it, he'd just flick it back, and he'd be like, "Nah."
What do you fucking mean?
He'd been there 25 years.
Yeah.
And every time I'd be like, "No, fuck him. I'm fucking giving him this job."
Yeah.
You'd go to the fucking dealer principal, and he'd be like, "He's fucking been here a long time, Andrew. Fucking did. Cool, so just fucking
just
completely undermine me.
I got no power in this place.
No, you've just fucking and he knows he can do what he wants, so he fucking did what he wanted. But he was, if he didn't want to, he'd be like, "Nah, not interested." 3 o'clock. If you give him anything other than a first service, he'd be like, "Not interested." What do you fucking mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, wouldn't engine light. He'd be like, "Fuck that."
Yeah,
that could take hours. Yeah, he'd be like, "We got a Sparky here for a reason, cunt." He'd fucking flick it back at you. Fucking righto.
Yeah. Nah, I mean, my first workshop controller was a foreman where I did my apprenticeship as well. Me and him butted heads like no tomorrow because he never used to give me anything to advance my skills. It was very, or if it was very slow.
Yeah.
And then that got brought up in my exit interview. Like, "Oh, well, you're really only a service guy." I was like, That's all I've ever been fucking given. What do you fucking mean? The person you've hired only ever given me that.
Yeah, you've molded me into that.
Yeah, I'm like, it's fucking. They're like, oh, I'm like, fucking actually let me go. Fuck this place.
Yeah.
And then went to Toyota, and then I mean, that was the reason why I learned so much there, because I was the dumb naive cunt, just fucking, because we're at Holden, you had a board and the guy would write your name on the job, so you knew that was your next job. At Toyota, it was just a board of job cards, so anyone could change whatever they wanted, skip whatever they wanted. So that's what they were doing.
Yeah,
they were just skipping jobs, and I was just getting all the shit ones. I'm going, fuck, these blokes must have some fucking faith in me. I'm getting all these fucking difficult jobs, and they're like, yeah, whatever, do it. So by the time I had like fucking 5 carryovers, by the time my first week was finished, nearly, because I have fucking massive jobs and stuff. I'm like, fucking hell. But I suppose that's how I earned my respect there, because I'd do anything. I wouldn't suck about it.
Yeah,
Just
and that's the thing.
Get in and
you've
do
got
it.
you've always got to earn the right to suck.
Yeah.
Like, you've got to be there a while. You've got to know.
Especially just out of your apprenticeship, you actually got to prove yourself.
Yeah, and those are the years that you've got to put those, and like I'm the biggest advocate of it now. The last thing I want to do is a fucking clutch or a fucking engine or something like that. I've done years and years and years of that. I can do it.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it.
No.
I will do it if it has to be done, and everyone else is doing something, or whatever. But if I could choose not to, I don't want to. I'm over that. I would rather help out in the everyday proceedings of fucking work and do the boring bullshit that no one else wants to do.
No, 100%.
Then.
Well, that's where your skill set's more set to now, because all your years of other stuff now.
And I'm old and broken. I don't want to fucking lift stuff up anymore. I'd rather fucking. It hurts your back heaps less having a conversation with someone than fucking lifting an engine. Like,
oh yeah, I mean,
I used to pick up like 4As and 7As and shit like that, and fucking move them around, like just bear hug them and fucking walk around. That's probably why I have a fucking back. But, it is what it is. It's, like laying under dashboards of cars and shit now. Oh, fuck that. I did a master cylinder on a fucking Subaru yesterday, and it ruined my fucking life. It's just, dude, fuck off.
Yeah, that was a job I started. Well, you started, then I started, and then it got fucking, I found the other problem.
It got there in the end.
Yeah.
Right? It went from the bowler to the keeper to the umpire to getting fucking fixed. So
and he drove out of here.
A win's a win.
Yeah, that's it. Drove out of here. The clutch is about to go on it, though.
It fucking clapped.
Yeah, but, whatever. Don't worry about that part. We'll worry about that when it actually breaks down.
Cross over that.
Yeah.
We won't have to do the hydraulics on it.
That'd be fucking mint. Oh, we have to do the slave, but maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the next Achilles heel.
Fuck, what a nightmare. I didn't even see one XV with manual XV. I didn't even know they came out,
That's like that. Outback today, most of them are fucking CVTs. You don't really see many manual ones.
Yeah, I say fucking hardly ever.
Yeah. It's a real dying art now, manuals. Like,
fuck. I wouldn't buy a new one.
My missus said to me, she's like, "Oh, should I learn to drive manual?" I was like, "No, not really. There's no point really."
I'm not going to buy another manual car. Are you going to buy another manual car?
Yeah, nah, fuck it.
I wouldn't even. I don't know if I'd even teach my kids.
I still like driving a manual.
Yeah.
I can drive a truck. I can drive an 18-speed Road Ranger, and I quite enjoy it.
Yeah.
But I don't want to.
No.
If I had my choice, I'd rather just put it in D.
Yeah, I mean, I always thought but my Colorado's the first auto I ever owned.
Yep.
Had manuals all the way up until then, and then when I got my first Colorado, I was like, that was a manual.
The one you fucked.
Yeah, the one I sunk. Yeah. I don't know if I told that. I don't know if I've told that story on the podcast. Maybe I'll tell it after this. But yeah, then I was watching 4Drive Action, 4Drive 24/7, and they were saying autos heaps good off road. It's like fuck, maybe I should have got an auto for off road.
Yeah.
And then I eventually flooded that one. So then I was like,
left the chat.
Rightio, so I'll insurance paid it out, so I was like, oh, I'll go and see at auto ones and got the auto. I'm like, fuck, never look back now. So I got the auto, and the wife back then, the wife still had a Lancer, which was manual. So she hopped in.
Can them drive manual?
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
She used to only ever drive manual.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, she learnt manual.
That's handy.
Oh yeah, it's good. It's pretty. I mean, back when she learned, her parents basically forced her. I think nearly you got to learn manual. which is the right thing to do, really.
Yeah.
Because then if you ever do need to drive manual, you can drive it.
Yeah.
But I don't know if she could be able to drive it now. Like, she hasn't driven one for a couple of years now.
But yeah, like a day or two.
A day or two.
Yeah.
But for us, it's so easy because we're always in and out of them every day. So we get that little fix of it, and then sometimes we're like, yeah, I've had enough of this shit.
Yeah, it's like
Fucking
doing civil. Most shit's manual.
yeah.
But the amount of times I'd get called from other, like within radio range, other sites. And they'd be like, "Can you reverse this truck with a trailer on it?" Yes.
Yeah.
They're like, "Can you come and do it?" Okay.
Yeah.
And you go down there to be like an hour exercise, fucking reversing this trailer into somewhere obscure.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, "Oh, you got it first go." Because I'm not retarded.
Yeah, that's one skill I got to learn. I got to learn how to reverse a trailer.
And the bigger the trailer, the easier.
Yeah.
Little box trailers are a fucking arsehole.
Yeah.
But so the light towers of VMS boards. So VMS board, like the signs you see at the side of the road that say work side ahead or whatever. They're addictive to move around, especially on a truck because you can't see them.
Oh yeah.
So if you got like
if you jackknife, you just run over the car as well.
The only way you can see them is by almost jackknifing them. You're like, oh right, it's there, so I'll swing the other way. But you try to do it on like a 10-ton tipper.
Yeah.
The truck doesn't know it's there. It just rolls straight over it if you let the clutch out.
Yeah, that's it.
And you're trying to back it into the corner of the cubicle there. But it's common sense.
Yeah.
It's like I've always thought reverse, especially when you're reversing a trailer, it's exactly what it says. You're doing the reverse of what you want to do. If you want the trailer to go left, you turn right.
Yeah, I'm getting heaps better at it, but still, like when Chris handed me the keys to the Falcon on the last day and goes, "I'll take the fucking scissor lift back to I was like. I felt like it was the first year again. I was like, fucking shit. And then I was like, where am I going to park it? He goes, oh, just reverse it in there. I'm like, I'm not at the right angle. I was like, I just fucking reversed it because I couldn't say, oh, fuck it, I'll deal with it. And just see us. Fuck that. But yeah, I was fucking a bit stressed. I was like, fuck, how am I going to do this? I'm like, oh, you'll fucking make it work.
Yeah, you've
got there good enough.
Yeah. And that's all. It's just the only way you're going to learn is by doing it. It's trial and error. Yeah, it's the same as anything. First clutch you did, but you were fucking terrified too. But
that was on my own car, so I had to make it work.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, no, I was the first. I never did a clutch where I did my apprenticeship. Took gearboxes out to do stuff, but never did a clutch.
Yeah, most Toyotas are automatics though.
Yeah, but in four-wheel drive Hilux, I got pretty good at them towards the end.
Like even we're talking about manuals and autos, even my fucking Corolla, it's an automatic. And there's some days I'm like, manual would be good. And I'm like, nah, it's got enough power as an auto. It's fine. Like, you stick it in D, you put your foot on the accelerator, it just does what it has to do. It just works. Like
the amount of brain power you must have extra brain power you put into driving a manual.
Yeah, but and it's one of those really hard things. Like, so I taught my missus to drive 18 months ago. Yeah, just to drive. And it was really hard to just go, because you just do it.
Yeah.
And she kept like wandering out of lanes and stuff. And I'm like, no, like just
hold it here.
And she had this big thing where when a car was coming the other way, she'd veer left, like she'd get away from them.
Yeah.
Like they don't want to crash into you either.
Yeah.
Their mission is to not die today.
Yeah.
But she just couldn't get past it,
Yeah.
and it was a real struggle for me. I'm like, no, just keep like trying to keep my cool and go. Just keep going straight. Just keep going.
Yeah, it'd be so.
And it ends up, it used to always end up in a fucking Barney because it's like you yelled at me. I was like, because you did something fucking stupid. Like, me
and my mum had the biggest argument we've ever had as a fucking family. Well, fucking ever when I was learning to drive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking down in Gosford, learning to drive. Nearly crashed the car twice and nearly blew it up and just carrying on thinking I was coming up towards the end of my time as an L plater, so I had the seat right back, just cruising,
being a fucking hero.
Yeah, being a hero. And fucking was raining. She used to always make me drive and it was raining.
Yeah.
Which is good because you get used to it. But I was probably annoyed because she fucking made me drive the Spotlight. Fuck, that place is fucking hate it. Killer of dreams. spotlight.
Yes.
But yeah, so in the car park, and then there was a sort of a car, I didn't notice it, and at Gosford, it's sort of a tight car park where it is. And yeah, nearly crashed into a parked car, and then fucking flat revved the fucking poor little Hyundai Accent and fucking carry on, and then up fucking up Carry On Hill, fucking carrying on, fucking pulled the car over on the side of the road, fucking hopped out. Oh fuck this, I'm fucking over it. Fucking yelling at me, fucking carry on. Oh, it was a carry on for sure.
Fuck yeah.
Oh fucking yeah, 17-year-old fucking thinks he's the king of the world.
Yeah, see, my learning experience was pretty good because, like, my old man just used to go to sleep.
Yeah, right.
He'd just he'd read the paper and then fall asleep, and Dad, can we go home now?
Yeah.
Feel like, oh fuck, we're here, are we? Righto, yeah, turn around and fucking drive home. Yeah, righto, back asleep again. Righto.
Fuck, I don't know how you could. Fucking, I suppose you have to be. I mean,
but it was sort of good too because you learnt how to drive by yourself.
Yeah.
Like, if that makes sense. Like, you learnt that. Well, I've got to make these decisions. I've got to make
100%.
This gap. Can I? Yeah, no, probably not. Or yeah, no, fuck it, I'll have that.
yeah.
You know, and I fucked up. I crashed my car 3 days after I got my license. Been a fucking hero.
Yeah.
But I realised Commodore's understeer when you go down a hill and like give them the old Scando flick. They
would.
fucking hate it. They're bald Bridgestone RE92s. Fucking didn't like ripping going downhill.
No, they wouldn't have.
Nah, I put my Commodore into a tree fucking hard.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, Commodore station wagon. I hit the tree that hard that it bent the roof and popped the back window out.
Oh, what model Commodore?
VP.
Oh, no, I deserve to die.
Yeah, it was clapped. Drove home from fucking Terrigal all day like that with the temperature gauge off hot, as far off as it could fucking go. Started it the next day. Drove it at the Smash Repair, and he laughed at me. He's like, "You fuckers!" I was like, "Oh, just see how much it's going to cost to get fixed. I'll put it through insurance." And he just laughed at me. And he goes, "You're fucking joking, aren't you?" He goes,
I'm not.
"It's fucked." And he goes, "I'll ring you the Savo with what your insurance company says." And then he rang me and he goes, "They're just going to fucking write it off." I was like, "Oh, cool." Like,
At least you had fully comprehensive insurance.
yeah, it was my first car. My parents did it like under their fucking
right.
thing or whatever. And but then I convinced my parents that a 4AGE fucking Corolla would be, because it was a Corolla, was smaller and fucking more safer option or whatever. It's fucking heaps quicker than my Commodore.
Oh yeah, fucking hell.
Heaps better car.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck, I remember I wouldn't have been far off from my P's, and there was some fucking. I used to wanted to be a dead shit bogan with a VS Commodore. It was manual converted, so it would have been fucking awful.
I've owned 3 VS Commodores.
Yeah, it would have been awful, but I still got a soft spot for them.
I like them.
I reckon they look sick.
I had a VS 5-litre Ute.
Yeah.
Series 3. I loved that car. I should have never sold it. I traded it in on a fucking VX Commodore.
Yuck.
But do you know what? That was probably the second best car I ever owned. It was fucking great. My favourite car that I ever owned was a VS Commodore, but it was the worst car I ever owned. It was a trade-in at the Toyota dealership I worked at. It was, what year was it? In 2008. It was a 95 model VS Commodore.
Yeah.
2008, had 32,000 Ks on it.
Yeah.
It still had plastic on the back seat.
Yeah, nice.
It had a little hanger around the fucking gear shift to tell you how to fucking operate lift it up, and like, it was a time warp, this car. So it had a tow bar on it, which I took off, and the guy had bought it similar to what we were talking about this afternoon. So the guy had bought it with his retirement money.
Yeah.
And they'd bought a caravan, and then his wife got sick, and then she died, and they never used it to tow their caravan. So he just putted this thing around fucking Sydney for X many years and traded it in on a fucking Toyota Yaris.
Yeah.
And so I bought it, and I loved this. It was fucking mint.
It would have been awful because everything was so old.
Yeah, it
had never been driven properly.
It leaked oil like about 6 months after. By about 6 months after I bought it,
out of it probably.
Well, I didn't cane it because I loved it. Yeah. So I used to treat it. No, I used to let it warm up, and I didn't rev it over about $3,000 or whatever. Except if it was wet, then it was fucking game on. This thing was tank slapping up the fucking road.
V6 one?
Yeah, yeah. I had the auto shift kitted, so it used to snap seconds. It was factory IRS, and I had chopped Ultra King Springs
so
in the back of
low.
it. It had negative 10-degree fucking camber on the back of it. It used to, when it did a burnout, it was like a fucking push bike did a skid. It just left these two little fucking lines. I put a limited slip diff in it, a Hydrotrack diff out of a fucking Club Sport.
Yeah.
Lowered it, fucking, and I loved this thing. And I used to daily it to Sydney and back from the coast every day. And within about 6 months, it just fucking hemorrhaged oil out of every seal it could fucking have. I pulled the engine out of it, resealed it. Fucking, that's when I got the gearbox shift kitted. Put it back in it. And then it would just break down. Like cranking sensor went. Fucking DFI module went. Fucking cam sensor went. The wiring to the fucking DFI module went. The fuel pump went. Like, it broke down so many fucking times.
Oh, yeah.
I did sell it with 100,000 Ks on it. And I sold it for more than I'd bought it for by quite a considerable amount. And it was probably I would buy that car back tomorrow, even though it fucking hurt me so. Like, it was a white VS Acclaim. It was the whitest of white cars I've ever fucking the guy loved it.
Yeah.
And I equally loved it, but I just drove it a bit more of a cunt than he would have ever fucking driven it.
It's a abusive relationship having like an old Commodore.
My first tip-in was in that car. I fucking second gear, fucking had a long neck between my legs. Don't do that, kids. It was close ride.
Yeah. It was on a track.
Yeah. No, Enterprise drive.
Yeah. Just close.
Yeah, loved it. It actually hated it because it was IRS, so it didn't want to fucking flick. But it did it. It was just a good car. Like, I had so many memories in it. Like, it was the first car with cruise control.
Yeah, right.
There's a photo that pops up on my Facebook every year of memories, and it's me and all my mates who were driving to a festival, and we were all driving the freeway with cruise control on it, and we all had our feet out the window. So, like, I had my feet, being the driver, had my feet out the window. Don't do that, kids, either. But there's a lot of memories that crop up, and that car's in it.
That's good shit.
A VS 5-litre ute, I would own again in a heartbeat. Like VR VS 5-litre ute, I would love one.
Yeah,
they sound good. They don't go good.
No.
Like, they're fucking slow as a wet week.
There's one thing, I don't like the look of the utes in the VS.
Yeah, I just like them because they do burnouts real easy.
Yeah. I love the sedan.
Yeah,
VS sedan. I don't
sedans,
know.
yeah.
It's just something about I used to love the dead shit, lowered in the rear, like slammed in the rear, but like a little bit lowered in the front. Just the fucking
party in the business in front, party in the rear.
The Cali lean in on the Commodore, like the VS sedan. That's what I wanted. Like, I remember seeing it. Mum's like, "You're a fucking idiot. I'm not letting you buy it." I'm like, "Oh, but it's sick." She goes, "Yeah, but you get fucking pulled over every fucking day." Yeah. I'm like, "Yeah, you're right."
So mine was like, I don't know if you know the wheels, but if you know the wheels, and I never thought in a million years they'd suit it, but they did. They just suited this thing to a T. I had VY Signature Senator wheels on it.
Yeah.
They're like the three-faced.
Yeah, is that the wheel you were talking about the other day?
Maybe. No, I think we were talking about VE wheels, weren't we?
No, you were talking about like you might have been actually.
They used to call them SIGs, but yeah, they didn't suit the car they came on ever. Like, they looked horrendous on VY Senators.
Yeah.
I bought these fucking wheels on it. It sort of looked Lebo, but it sort of didn't. It was it had a like proper stereo in it. It was just it's just a cool car. But and everything wasn't clapped inside. Like,
it was mean.
You'd shut the doors and it'd go and just shut. Like, it didn't. The window didn't fall out of it when you shut it.
Yeah, mine was the one I was looking at.
It was a time warp. It was going back to 1995.
Yeah.
And buying this car new.
Mine would have been the exact opposite. It would have been clapped as fuck. Howzo fucking.
See, I hate it when they clap like that black ute that you got in here, that fucking B&S one.
Yeah.
Like, I fucking hate it.
It just upsets you.
It just, because it
you had
just shouldn't be like that. Yeah, it just shouldn't be like that.
Yeah.
Like the one we did the Gilmer drive on, that was all right.
Yeah, that was
a ute.
That was going to get some labour of love in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the only reason I like the utes is because you touch the throttle and they skid.
Yeah.
So you go, oh, it's got heaps of power. They don't. They've just got no ability to make traction at all.
No. I would love to get a body of a VS and put it on a VF chassis. Get rid of all the fucking shit. Get the modern day chassis. I don't know if I fucking older. I love those resto mods.
Yeah.
They're my favourite thing people do with cars.
Yeah.
Yeah,
See, I love
favourite
the
thing
whole. I love like Todd's Ute. Right?
Yeah.
Like modern engine and an
Yeah.
old Ute. You could daily it if you want to.
Yeah.
Like Haydo's like XE. You could daily
Yeah.
that if you want to. You
Oh, yeah.
turn the key, goes cranky, but it'll go. Makes reasonable.
Maybe get it engineered if you're going to daily it.
Yeah. But like Haydo's XE did better fuel economy going down to the Summernats than what I did in my fucking family Prado going to Queensland.
Yeah.
Like, sorry? What do you
Fucking
mean?
crazy.
Like, and I'll sit there and
Stupid.
do a fucking top of second gear skid, and my Prado is slow.
So I haven't seen any footage of that, by the way.
Yeah, it does skid, but we went to fucking Hungry Jack's for lunch day, and it skids. Yeah.
Fuck, I couldn't. He would have been fucking lunatic with that when it first got done.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Driving to work.
I can't be like, even now, like we had a car in here, and its name is something that I won't say it because of the car, but
Yeah.
it's an animal that eats bamboo,
Yeah.
and like it's fucking quick,
Yeah.
right? And as soon as it hits boost, it just wants to step sideways.
Yeah.
And I couldn't. I had to come back. I couldn't control myself. I was like, I'm just gonna I'm gonna bin this cunt or ruin his tires or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can't be helped. I can't help it.
Yeah.
Like, but then I could quite happily get in my Corolla and just do fucking
Just putt along.
50 in a 60 zone because that's just what it's happy
Yeah.
doing.
I suppose if you've got a car that's not designed for it, you don't
Yeah, it's
worry
just a
about
car.
it. But if you
It's a vessel for, like I said, it's a vessel to get to and from work
Yeah.
and do what it needs
but
to
if
do.
your car can do it, you just go.
Oh, 100%.
I get the little boost noises in the Colorado through the snorkel, and
Yeah.
I'm just always like, just getting a flutter. I'm like,
that fucking
fuck, if I had a-
Pajero.
if I had a turbo car, I would fuck.
Oh yeah. Oh, I had a VL Commodore. I had a VL turbo wagon. Probably that
Fuck yeah.
now would be worth
Oh, stupid money.
20, 30 grand. I paid $1,500 for it. It was factory manual.
Oh, fuck.
And we used to go back when this will tell you how old I am for people playing at home. You used to be able to drive down George Street in the city. You can't anymore.
No.
Not for a long time. But they used to, so Saturday night, if you were anyone, you used to take your car down to George Street and you
Yeah.
do laps of George Street. You come back up through the cross and then you'd fucking do it again. All fucking night.
Yeah.
Right? And it had a boost controller and 15 pound would put it into boost cut.
Yeah.
14 and a half wouldn't, but so it was 14 and a half, no tune, pod filter, and it used to flutter like you wouldn't fucking believe this thing.
VL turbo flutter. There's nothing
and
better.
you'd 20 k's an hour, second gear, clutch in, 4.5, 5 grand off the clutch on the brake, and it'd just fucking go up George Street fucking sideways. And it locked diff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I put 9 head studs in the diff and fucking welded it up. It was fucking solid, that cunt.
Yeah.
It was going anywhere.
Fuck yeah. That RB30 turbo flutter, there's
Loved it.
probably nothing better
Yeah, it
noise.
fucking loved it. Didn't. It hated it.
Oh,
But,
yeah.
but it took everything I gave it.
That noise is so iconic in Australia. That noise.
I used
Is
to daily that.
insane.
I used to daily that to Pennant from the coast every day. And if I didn't clutch kick it going onto the freeway, it'd snap an axle. So from Pennant Road onto the M1, if
Yeah.
I didn't, I used to have to be in the middle or the left lane, and I would come out wide and clutch kick it to get it round. If
Yeah.
I was in the right lane and turned non-lead, it'd snap the left axle.
What the? It was just wood. It just was guaranteed.
Like every fucking time I did it, it would do it.
You're not
I
driving
was
hard
just like,
enough.
oh, I'm fucking driving, like double demerits or whatever.
Yeah.
And I would end up
On a tow truck.
going, if I was worried about cops or whatever, I would go up through Hornsby and get on the freeway at Barrera.
Yeah,
Because I
yeah.
didn't have to make the turn.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
The load or something on the
Yeah,
car.
it was just, I don't know, it just the way, because by the time you're making the turn, you're probably doing 30, 40 Ks an
Yeah.
hour. and it was just the angle of the turn and the load. It would just without fail, it would fucking snap an axle. It would just wouldn't let it fucking slip, and it would just.
No, it was was super tight.
The only way I ever got it to not do it was I ended up putting because I used to have like 15-inch stockies on the back of it all the time. But I ended up putting the VL stockies on the back of it, which were 14s.
Yeah.
And I'd have 185 R14 light truckies on it.
Yeah.
With 60 PSI on them.
Yeah, the rotational.
Yeah.
Let it rotate properly.
Yeah, I had to it'd just slide.
Yeah.
It wouldn't. Yeah, you could, if you went into it was like a front wheel drive. If you went into a corner fast enough, it would just slide. And then you get on the throttle. It's like an 86.
Yeah.
Like just like a drift.
Yeah.
Until you run out of Commodore steering, which happened a lot, and then you'd end up just looping it.
My favourite thing was the compression lock-up stalling in a fucking Hilux work, mate.
I used to do that to my little Bandera Land Cruiser, and then you'd throw it sideways. It was terrifying.
Yeah.
But I remember we did it. We had a lot of my good friends, including that bloke we were talking about earlier that worked at Toyota, that's now a cabbie. He used to live in the proper ghetto of Wyoming.
Yeah.
Right. And one of the boys that lived there was moving out and moving on to bigger and better things. And they had this big street party, right? And I had this Land Cruiser with 22R in it. And we were trying to get it to do a burnout. And nothing would make this thing do a fucking burnout. So we decided we'd fucking just pour a fucking 1 litre bottle of fucking auto oil over the road. And I'd fucking drove in and out of it a couple of times. And then I fucking got on the brake. And it loved it.
Yeah.
Right? Didn't think anything more of it. We ended up going to Pulse. Fucking drove the car to Pulse.
Yeah.
Left it there the night. Come back fucking Sunday. It was pissing down rain. There was still water all over the tyres. I must have looped this thing about fucking 6 times coming from fucking Gosford to Narara. Every fucking roundabout, it was just like, whoop, fuck God. So, and you can't correct them things. Like, you can't correct a steering box car. Like, once you're sideways, you're fucking committed. You're hitting whatever you're hitting.
Yeah, so these young cunts in these fucking 79 series and
they wouldn't have a fucking clue. Yeah, they're thong slapping V8s that.
Imagine if they fucking lost control on the wet. Fuck, they're not doing nothing.
No.
But yeah, that's a bit closer than expected. Jump on the brakes in the Hilux, and the RSN wants to take you over the front because the fucking drum brakes work better than the front brakes in them. And
they didn't work until they worked at 100%.
Oh, and then it was just like it's like a dog chasing his tail. It just used to fucking whoop.
Yeah.
Fucking Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and as soon as you set it off with a bit of compression, they go, "Oh, I work. I'll fucking stop you."
Yeah.
Go, no, don't stop.
No, please stop. Fronts work fronts.
Yeah.
Grab. Fuck rears.
My old Hilux, I couldn't ever get it to pass a rego brake test if it was wet. You'd have to use a bit of handbrake, a bit of compression, and some brakes to get it, because otherwise it just something would lock up, it just wouldn't marry up.
No.
I think they kept the population down for a few years.
100%. The fucking workmate 2.7 litre Hiluxes.
I had a before that, I had a 93 fucking like RN85, so 22R. Fuck the ads that they first came out with unbreakable Hilux, you know, the na, and they'd like drive through a brick wall and shit. You could drive through a brick. You'd probably go through a brick wall because you were trying to stop in the wet.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But if you could drive that, like, if you could survive a wet weather trip in that, you were technically immortal. You won't. Yeah, that's you now.
Well, my Hilux's speedo didn't work, and once you got above 80 k's an hour, it sounded like it was trying to explode.
Yeah, right.
Something internally wasn't happy.
Oh, tech tip.
Yeah.
Speaking of speedos that don't work, so my Hilux used to do it, and I was like, "Oh, the speedo cable's just fucking stretched." From 0 to 20, the speedo just used to fucking jump up and down.
Yeah.
Right. The Corolla used to do it when I first bought it. It used to jump from between 50 to 60. It used to just get a bit of a shake going on. Then it got really bad from, I would say 6 months ago. It got to a point where if you were doing 60, you could be doing 50, you could be doing 90.
Yeah, right.
It was very erratic. It was like Michael J. Fox's signature.
Yeah.
Right. There was a bit on. But I was like, I wonder if, and I know when you pull them off, you get grease on your fingers.
Yeah.
So I just packed the fucking cable full of fucking lithium grease.
Yeah.
Fucking bang on fucking speed now, boys and girls.
Right.
Yeah, loves it. So that's a tech tip for everyone. If your speedo's fucking shaking and you got a cable, put some fucking lithium grease down it. Loves it.
Yeah. I replaced everything in. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with that one. I think it was a cluster. But I hadn't got to that point. I was like, I don't want to.
Yeah, I'm not going down that rabbit hole.
I just fucking put a speedo up on my phone, just cruise with that.
Yeah.
I had 2 phones. I burnt the fucking speedo fucking thing into the screen.
Yeah.
Because the fucking was always on. Because it was the only way I could drive it. And no one else could drive it.
Yeah.
It's a good safety feature. Don't have a speedo that works. No one would want to drive the car.
Yeah.
I had that car when me and my wife got together. Me and Emily got together. She used to hate it. She fucking boobs used to almost knock herself out in it because it was fucking that low, bouncy, everything. I loved it. Oh, that car.
It's like, get another car, Daniel.
Yeah, she didn't say it to me, but she
She
used to always hint, "Oh, let's take my car."
Yeah.
But I mean, it's pretty uncomfortable. 2 people in a fucking single cab.
Yeah.
But I don't know, fucking mean car, and then it got written off. Sad face.
Yeah.
But now, well, then we rode off my first Colorado together.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then got the other one now. Big auto dog.
Good whip.
Yeah, now it's just keeping that thing running.
Wait,
260,000 Ks on the clock.
4 JJ1. That's
Oh yeah, I'm more worried about everything else around it.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah. 4 JJ1.
Because you don't know what. That's the problem when they have Holden Colorado and an Isuzu D-Max. What did Holden contribute to that?
Yeah.
If it's just a badge mint.
Yeah.
But if they contributed other things, you're like, oh, that could break then.
Yeah, I don't think it's much collaboration.
If there's anything AC Delco in it, fuck that off. That's stay good.
Yeah.
That'll just break and give you tears.
Yeah. No, it's a 4JJ1 that's had a very patchy service history, and it's even patchier with me owning it because I'm so fucking slack on services. Just fucking whenever I get a chance.
I noticed your service sticker's very overdue.
Yeah, it's non-existent now.
Yeah, right.
I'm fucking such a. I gotta be more fucking give more of a shit, but I just drive them till they break. That's the issue. I can't be harsh on people.
Yeah.
Like service, I'm the same.
See, I'm even like
religious.
At $200 car, I'll still change oil every 5,000 Ks.
Yeah.
Like I just,
Oh no,
because what we were talking about earlier about doing all you can, and if it still fails, then you can fucking jump up and down about it. Yeah. If I ever blow a motor up, I carry on about it like a fucking sore thumb. Yeah. Oh, I carry on.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I sort of looked at it and went, well, you've been treated pretty mean your whole fucking life. I'll just keep you treating you mean.
Yeah, I suppose, ignorance is bliss.
Yeah.
So if that's all it knows, then...
Yeah, that's it. That's why I always tell everyone who buys new cars, I'm like, fucking treat it rough.
Yeah.
Flog the fuck out of it. Because if you baby him, it'll want to be babied. But if you flog the fuck out of it, it'll always love being flogged.
Well, a bloke I used to work with at Holden that taught me a lot, actually. I can't remember his name for the life of me. His nickname was Birdie, but I can't remember his fucking real name. He was the engine guy.
Yeah.
Right? And he'd put new engines in cars, whether he'd either rebuild them or if they were warranty, he'd get a long motor or whatever. And his road test in them was fucking brutal. It was whatever red line it is, it was about 500 RPM below that.
Yeah.
And it sat on that the whole fucking road test.
Yeah.
And his thing was, he goes, well, if it's going to break, it'll break before I give it back to him.
Yeah, 100%.
And he said, because this has got to either go to Nana or a cop.
Yeah.
And he's like, he said, by the time I give it back to him, he said it should be able to go to either of them.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I always used to... people used to go, oh, what about like when people buying cars and it's like buying secondhand cars and stuff? They used to get worried about buying them. Especially if it's like a newer car, if like a young bloke's own it from day one. I'm like, no, it's probably a good car to get as long as it's been serviced. It's not a fucking bad car to get because if you're gonna fucking treat it a bit mean, it's always been treated mean. I think cars learn.
Yeah,
like
it's the same as everything.
Yeah, that VS Commodore. Yeah, if you owned that new and drove like the way you drove it, you wouldn't have had an issue. But because some old fella owned it, didn't drive it hard, you got you in it. You used to drive it hard when it was wet.
Yeah,
like he used to freak out and go, "Fucking, what's going on here?"
I'm not built for this.
I'm an old person car. What are you doing to me?
I'm built to sit in the fucking Bowles car park.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I'm not used to hit limiter. What are you talking about? Don't do that.
And I fucking did that a few times too. I'll give you the red hot tip.
But yeah, I'm like, just fucking buy a new car, thrash the fuck out. That's what everyone at Holden used to tell me.
Yeah.
When I'm like, if you ever get a new car, you just got to fucking thrash it.
Yeah. Oh,
I was
exactly.
like, rightio. Like, because you got to fucking treat him mean because, like, service him, look after him, which fucking rich coming from me.
Yeah.
But, like, that's the main thing. But if you fucking hard on it,
Yeah.
it'd be good. Obviously, there's limitations to that. But
Oh, yeah.
it's not like fucking maybe let it get warm before you fucking cane it.
Yeah.
But
as long as, like,
there's mechanical. Don't sit on a limiter for
Cold-
fucking the whole time of years of life. Then that's going to have dramas. But
I got taught a few things when I was younger, and they've always stuck with me. Cold revs
yeah.
hurt,
Oh, yeah.
and no load revs hurt.
Yeah.
So, like, just sitting there smashing it off limiter in neutral,
Yeah.
no good.
No.
Occasionally hitting limiter while you've got a bit of load on the engine, don't worry about it. Don't stress about it. But like I remember this guy used to do like VX and VY cop cars. And he'd come back from his road test and the average speed would be 130, 140 kilometres an hour. Like he'd take him down, worked in Gosford.
Yeah.
And like I finished in Gosford, but I started at Pennant Hills and he's taken him up the old Pacific Highway to Barrera and back.
Yeah.
And they'd just be fucking pegged, these things, the whole time. And he'd come back and you'd hear it sitting in the car park and it'd have that like tick, 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 tick.
So hot.
Yeah, and you'd smell it. Wouldn't smell like oil.
No.
And he'd just rag the fucking ass out of him.
Yeah.
And do you know what? Every now and then he'd pull one back in and be like, it's fucking noisy or fucking this or that or whatever. They didn't go out fucking... Whatever went out, never come back.
Yeah. That's pretty...
He
you
just
got a
had
good
a way
understanding
of...
that
yeah,
way. It's pretty good
and he would...
because...
Whereas some people, I think, like I know I'm guilty of it. Like if I ever do something that I'm like... Even like a clutch, you know...
Yeah.
I'll just drive it round the block nice and
Yeah.
fucking steady. Like, he'd fucking go out there and fucking $5,000, drop the clutch. You know, like, it'd be like, it's got to take this, it's got to do this, it's got to do this before I fucking give it back. And like, fuck, you're up for the rent. No, I loved it.
I suppose. I bet, if you do that to it,
Yeah,
to
and
any
that
person's car,
was always his thing, that whatever it needs to take, whatever
I'm going to be the one who's
going
going to fuck it.
I'm going to be the one that's going to break it. If I don't break it, it's not going to break.
Yeah.
You know, speaking of breaking, so we'll go on to the Segway thing.
Your beautiful adventure this week.
No, I wasn't even going to go on
okay.
that. I was going to go on the Segway of like because you hinted at it before that we are going to talk about it. How did the first D-Max start its life, and how did it come to its demise? I suppose.
Yeah, so my first Colorado brought it off a young guy, or not young guy, sort of young family man who upgraded to a different car, and he wanted to sell it. And he goes, you're not going to fuck it, are you? I'm like, no, I'm not going to fuck it. No, definitely not. And yeah, putting along, and then me and the wife going on our first holiday together, and we decided to go check out this lookout and then go down this track, and then it fucking had a river crossing and thought we could cross it, but we couldn't, and it got flooded. So yeah, we fucking ended up with water up to our chest and having to walk a couple of k's to get fucking rescued, which was very fucking eventful. But you know, I suppose fucking we're still together now, so worked out pretty well for us. Not the car though, got fucking written off. But we got the new beast, well not new beast, but old new beast to me now, but automatic. Got a snorkel, 3-inch stainless steel exhaust, hardcover. Heaps better car than what I had, so I can't really complain. All right, this is fucking weird now. I'm just talking to myself. That got weird for a while.
I had to go to the toilet. Sorry, everyone.
Yeah, you're right. It got weird. Having to talk to yourself to keep stuff going, that got weird.
Yeah.
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 Do you know that story?
How long did you own it for before you fucked it, though?
Oh, fuck. 7 months?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, maybe, I think.
Yeah, so the novelty was still there, though. Like, it would have been pretty raw when you fucked it.
I was pretty devastated for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
I was pretty cut about it. This is the first, it's not the first car I've had that's been written off, but it was the first car I killed.
Yeah.
And it was
probably, am I right in saying it was probably the first car of substantial value that you killed too?
Oh, yeah. Oh, 100%. It was my first, I used to call it my first adult car.
Yeah.
Like the first dual cab Ute,
Yeah.
4-wheel drive, like it's a full family car basically. Like you could, if you have kids, put kids in. Like it's a family car. It's your entry level family car. So I was like, I'm an adult. Like driving this thing, I was like, I'm a grown up now. I'm not driving.
You can drive past a cop and not worry about it.
Yeah, because it was stand like it just had some slightly bigger tires on it, but it wasn't lifted or anything. So it wasn't. I was like, oh, this is just a normal car.
Yeah.
Like it's not a slammed Hilux where you're always looking out your back going, fuck's that cop coming for me? Or
at night you're like you try to read the headlights.
Yeah, well, it's the first car in a while I could see out my side windows because my Hilux had like 5% tint.
Yeah, that's rough.
So I couldn't see anything out of it.
Yeah.
Couldn't see anything out of it. Had no speedo. Fucking used to fucking vibrate like no tomorrow. I'm like, what am I fucking doing in this car? But I just loved it. And it was black. And when I first got it, had tinted headlights as well. So it was just a fucking cop
Just
bag.
a proper cop.
Oh, yeah. But I only got pulled over once in it.
Yeah, right.
Because I wasn't a P-plater. Fully licensed driver.
Yeah.
So you don't get hassled.
Yeah, although, do you know what? Like, so my old tradie Hilux I had was like I said, a 93 ice. Body was immaculate, right?
Yeah.
Right? But it had, aluminium tray on the back of it, whatever. I would almost bet on every Friday or Saturday night that I drove that. Yeah, straight away.
You would have been RBT'd straight away.
Yeah, and to the point where they would come the other way and they'd lights on, do the U-bolt. And, you got
pulled over, and just pulled, yeah, right.
No, yeah, like you were driving a stolen car. Like you drive along.
I don't know what that feeling's like.
And yeah. Shut up, Daniel. I'm about to drive that fucking thing.
Yeah, fuck.
But yeah, I honestly, I wouldn't drive it on a Friday or a Saturday night because I just didn't want the aggravation of it.
Right.
It was I would drive past a copper, and it happened to me a couple of times. Mrs. go, we're out of toilet paper or something like that, and you go, right, I'll just and I'd get home from work and I'd park our other family car in, so I'd go, fuck, I'll just run down the shops and that.
Yeah,
and I would say, out of the 50 times I'd done that, I would say 15, 20 times.
Fuck.
Pretty much every time I saw a cop coming the other way, they would fucking lights on, turn around, and they'd pull you up and they go, just a random breath test, mate. And you go, right, have you had anything to drink? And not, do you know what? 9 times out of 10, I'd go, no, I don't have anything to drink. And you go, fuck, I'd like 3 beers for dinner. as you're talking into it.
Yeah.
And they go, oh, no, you're right, mate. And then a couple of them would come back and go, just a random drug test. And you go, yeah. And so you end up sitting at the side of the road for 20 minutes, half an hour.
Yeah, it's a long process.
For fucking nothing.
Yeah.
And they go, oh, right, sir, you're right to go. You're like, cool, thanks.
I wonder if the car had a checkered past.
So the reason, similar story, what you were talking about, the Colorado.
Yeah.
So this particular car I actually bought it twice.
Yeah, right.
So I bought it when I was doing civil, getting bulk coin, whatever, and I did a extra. I used to do night shifts, so I used to do Sunday night to Thursday night. I did a Friday and a Saturday. I got paid an extra $2,500 to do the Friday and the Saturday night. This car came on Gumtree for $2,000. I always wanted one.
Yeah.
So I bought it. All right. And I rang this bloke. He lived in Western Sydney. I rang him. And I said, oh, interested in the Hilux. And he goes, there's a bloke coming tomorrow morning to have a look at it. It was Saturday Arvo. I was like, righto. And I said, mate, I'm interested in, I said, I'll pay more for it. I said, you're only asking $2,000 for it. I said, I'll give you $3,000 for it right now. I said, I haven't even seen it. Just judging by the pictures. And he said, no. He said, I've offered him first. He said, he can come and have a look at it first. If he's no good. But he said, I won't sell it to him if he's a fuckwit.
Yeah.
So anyway, Sunday morning, 7 o'clock, the phone rings. He goes, that fucking bloke come to look at it. He goes, he was a fuckwit. He said, so I'm not selling it to him.
Yeah.
He said, if you want to come and have a look at it, he said, come down and have a look at it. Righto. So I got my mate to drive me down to fucking Penrith. And we get out and look at it. And I was thinking, the bloke that's selling it's going to be fucking this, that, whatever.
Yeah.
He was you could have gone into any outback pub in Australia and he would have been fucking sitting behind the bar, you know. And he looked me up and down and he said to me, he goes, you're not going to fucking lower it and put big fucking wheels on it or whatever. And I was like, nah, So that's not my intention at all.
No.
And it wasn't.
I'm just going to drive it.
I actually raised it and put bigger wheels
Yeah.
and tyres on it. But anyway, it was only a 2-wheel drive. But
You'd
it was just better on sight. It was just better on
You'd been
sight.
spewing about that as
Yeah,
well.
I kept
probably.
it had sunnies on it.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, so I bought it, drove it to work. Used it as a car, and then I went back to being a mechanic. Wasn't using it.
Yeah.
We had another car. Mister didn't have a license yet, so I was like, I'll just get rid of it. Sold it to me, mate. Moved it on, and then I said to him, I kept saying to him, if you're ever going to sell it, let me know, and I'll buy it back. And then he rang me one day out of the blue and he goes, I'm going to sell it. He goes, I'm fucking over it. He said, I want to sell it. I was like, right, I'll buy it back. So I bought it back for the second time. And then that was when I started having the issues with it.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether my mate maybe had a shit.
100%. I reckon he would have been.
Don't know.
I reckon he might have. There's something because you don't get pulled out. Like, if you get put into RVTs, I totally get it. Like, I always look at him and go, I'm going to get pulled in here because like, I haven't been yet, but I'm like, if I had a tray on the back of it, I probably would.
Yeah.
If your car looks like a tradie car, you're going to get RBT'd a lot.
100%.
And yeah, but getting pulled over all the time, there must have been that number plate must be related to.
Yeah.
He must have done drink driving for sure, or something along the lines of that.
Yeah.
To get pulled over like that,
because it used to. It was beyond a joke. Like
yeah, that's 100% what would have happened.
And,
because you don't
it's
just
funny
get
too.
pulled
Like
over like
even
that
the
for no
Falcon,
reason.
like the Falcon that you got stopped in or whatever. That's been past more than one cop.
Oh, that
it hasn't been fucking stopped. But
that was wild.
Old mate fucking stopped you. It's funny how
there was something in that system where he wanted to be a hero, where he thought, oh, "Fuck it, I'm going to be the one to prove these cunts wrong," or he knew the person.
Honestly, I believe that he's. I reckon that he's a family friend of the person that fucking.
The person who put it in, definitely. But I reckon that because that car, the previous day there was a highway patrol officer in our fucking car park, and he's surely unless the report had been in for a couple of week.
Yeah.
Prior to that, so he would have seen it.
And his car's got a scanner on it.
Yeah, so he would have picked up on it.
So it would have fucking went beep, 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 beep.
So I reckon they're saying that they've looked into it's a civil matter or something's come up on the thing maybe. But I'm like, it was just a fucking wild experience. That was a wild experience, that. And it was so
for
annoying.
those playing at home too, the highway patrol officer that paid us a visit doesn't have the best reputation for letting stuff slide.
Yeah, if you're on the Central Coast, think of a highway patrol officer.
Yeah,
that's him.
And if you own a Falcon or a Commodore, you'll know him well, or a lifted four-wheel drive, you'll probably know him well on random occasions.
If you've been defected,
yeah, you know who it is.
You know who it is.
Yeah. So, but he came to pay us a visit. Honestly, didn't know it was him until he said his name, and then I was like, "Oh, you don't sound like your name at all."
No.
He saw that he was parked next to the car.
Yeah.
Would have seen it. His radar would have went fucking stupid for it. Nothing. So and then the next day you get fucking pulled over in it.
Yeah, and I just wanted to go home and build my Lego.
Nerd.
Fucking stitch up, 100%.
Nerd.
Yeah, 100%. It was filthy.
Yeah, and I bet.
What a ruiner for a Saturday. What a ruin for a Saturday night.
Yes.
Fucking crazy shit. But yeah, it's all been sorted out now. But yeah,
well, yeah.
Hopefully. But nothing's come of it.
It's a non-event.
The fucking the person A hasn't tried to deal with it. Well, not that I've heard of anyway.
Well, no, there's been no summons or anything for it, and you would have imagined that would have happened.
No,
for all intensive purposes, it's
the bill has to be paid.
Normal, yeah.
That's it. That's the only thing. Like the bill has to be paid.
I reckon they've sought advice of someone, and they've gone, "You're a fucking idiot.
Pay the bill."
Yeah.
If you want the car back, you need to pay the bill.
I reckon they've pled their fucking story to him, like similar to get in and meet your mate down the pub whose brother's uncle's son's a lawyer or whatever.
Yeah.
And you've pled your case to him, and he's listened to the whole thing, and then just went, right, you're a fuckwit, and this is why.
Yeah.
And just listed the reasons why he's a fuckwit, and he's gone, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, tail between his legs and moved on.
You gave the car to someone without accepting payment, and they've fucked you over. But the person, and then they've damaged the car.
Yeah.
They've had the car repaired and they haven't paid the bill.
At the end of the day, though, it was and always will be a civil matter. It's not a
Yeah, so there has to be that one cop. I mean, I looked at him and he wasn't there on the way out, and then he was in a really randomish spot I've never seen before. I'm like, there's no way they'd fucking know I was coming back that way.
No.
I'm like, it's a coincidence. But I was like, is it a coincidence that he's now just put on this big tough act when he was told multiple times that he's the report number, right? He's like, I'm still telling it.
Yeah.
He would have just been, I'm right, fuck you. He would have, either he was excited to fucking arrest somebody, or he was just like,
it
fuck
happened.
it.
Do you know what happened to me? I had a fucking hero cop experience. So in the Corolla, actually, it was due for Rego, and I was working a night shift. And I was normally on days. I was working a night shift. I sort of did sometimes it's not like a normal job, civil. Like sometimes you'll do like a, 14, 15 hour day.
Yeah.
So we were having a weekend shutdown, and I started at 10 o'clock in the morning instead of 6, and I finished at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Right. Well, my car was due. No, I got home at 1 in the morning. I must have finished about 11, 11:30 or something.
That was
like
Rego or something.
Well, Rego was due at midnight that night.
Yeah.
Right? And I'd just flat out
Forgotten
about it, right? But I was technically still registered when he pulled me over. And I think I had about 45 minutes. Something, right? And I was coming through the Lane Cove Tunnel, and I come out the other side, and there was a copper coming the other way. Didn't think anything of it. Seen the cop car fucking clear as day. It was coming into the tunnel as I was coming out. So it would have had to go through the tunnel to the next fucking divider in the road, do a U-bolt, and fucking race up behind it. And that's exactly what he did. Fucking lights and sirens, fucking. And I just got over, and he fucking
kept coming
in
over
behind me, fucking nose dived into the ground like he was fucking slowing up. And fuck, righto.
What have I done here?
Pulled over. Fucking long neck between my legs, righto. Fucking pop that near the fucking passenger seat. Because, and I had another two on the seat ready to go. So I popped them away. Anyway, and he's going, mate, he said, so just stopped you. He said, because of your registration. I said, fuck. And then I looked at the time and I went, mate, it doesn't run out till midnight.
Yeah.
And he goes, well, yeah. And I said, well, mate, it's like 11:40.
Yeah.
He goes, well, yeah. He said, but your car's registered on the Central Coast. Yeah. And he's like, well, but you're not going to make it home in that time.
I'm not now.
Okay, cool. But it's still, as we speak, I go, it's still currently registered, yeah?
Yeah.
And he goes, yeah. I said, okay, cool. So this is what I'm going to do. I said, I'm 10 minutes from Thornley Macca's.
Yeah.
I said, I'll pull up there and I'll have a feed. I said, I'll pay me Rego. So, you've got your pink slip. I said, your computer screen will tell you that I have my fucking pink slip and fucking green slip sorted.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to pay it when I get to Thornley Macca's, and everything will be okay.
Thanks for letting me know.
Right. But yeah, the
don't look any further into the car.
The production that fucking carried on about that. Yeah, I was like, I'm still technically registered.
Yeah.
Fuck off. Like,
100%.
But that flagged up. How did the Falcon not flag up? That it was potentially stolen.
Yeah.
Sitting here in a car park, and then all of a sudden, it raises more questions than answers.
It just is a thing that you just never know the answer to, which is the most annoying thing.
Yeah.
And it's either, I mean, someone got their balls kicked in.
Yeah.
Someone in the police department in that area in Newcastle got their fucking balls kicked in.
Yeah.
Because they did something they shouldn't have done.
I reckon them stopping that car exposed,
probably exposed more cracks than they wanted to be exposed.
100%.
And old mate was probably trying to pave over him at the time on the side of the road because his demeanour did change a little bit. Sort of, it was a bit fucking. He was okay with me to start off with, and then he got a bit crankier when Chris got involved on the phone.
Yeah.
Well, it's not my.
Yeah, because he was wrong.
Yeah, because I'm just
just
borrowing the car off him because my car's broken.
Yeah.
So it's a mate, I'm borrowing his car off and it's stolen. Like, well, last I heard it wasn't stolen.
Yeah.
And he's down, he's like, yeah. I was like, oh, that figures. Because the cunt came in that week to come and collect it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should have just drove the fucking Barina.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I would have had the Barina, would have been the car. I would have had to drive because Haydo was driving the
Elantra, yeah.
Elantra, yeah.
Yeah.
But
The brain
fucking
is fixed now, so
yeah, it's mint now.
drive away. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to drive it now. I still got my car works now. It's no longer bricked.
Yes.
Thank fuck for that.
Right.
Oh, that's an hour and 40 minutes, brother.
Fuck, we've done that again.
Yeah.
Talking shit.
Yeah, it was good fun. Good catch up.
It was a good catch up. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys. First
If
episode
you're still
of the year.
awake, yeah.
Yeah, first episode of the year. Yeah, we'll see what happens next week.
Our
But,
fearless leader should be back next week.
yeah,
So,
hopefully. Yeah.
yeah. Thanks, guys. Thanks for
Thank-
putting up with us. Thanks
Yeah.
for welcome back. Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Happy New Year.
Happy
all that
New
shit.
Year, and hope the year gets easier.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, fucking A.
Because it'll be a long one if it's fucking like this all
Yeah,
year.
the first 3 weeks have been fucking rough.
Yeah. Rightio.
Righto.
Bye.
Ta-da.
Like, follow, subscribe, all that good shit.